Hello to you all. This is another video from the joys of a hospital room, but this time with the very exciting reason for being in the hospital, which is that there's a little girl who's just joined our family. So that is baby Esther, who was born a couple of days ago, safely and well, and we are thrilled to have her. So you may be hearing a bit less from me as I just peel back and snuggle in with this little one. Good time to be quarantined if that's what happens. But I just wanted to share with you a few reflections I had from the joyous process of labour. And it was all about the power of right believing. Again, the power of our thought life over how we act and how we be. During labour, I reached that point where I was in the zone and couldn't say anything apart from occasionally one word demands like water. And there I was tired. It was the middle of the night and my body clock was definitely wanting to be fast asleep, not trying to push out a babe. But God's timing is perfect, so we were just right in the right place. But the thoughts began to come. At one point I was getting tired and the thoughts began to come. You're going to give up. You're not going to be able to do this. You're going to have an emergency C-section. And all the while, Dom was encouraging me, and he was there, and he was alongside, and he was praying. And over again, he'd be saying, "You're nearly there. You're nearly there. You're doing so well. You're nearly there." And every time he said that, it was so helpful. And it's like it just brought me back into line. That one phrase, "You're nearly there," was enough for me to just hold on to, pin my faith to, just choose to believe him and carry on. And that really, in reflection, has just made me realize the power of our thought life. We are in a battle, the battlefield of the mind. And when you're in the battle, it's harder to see and it's harder to choose your thoughts, which is why we need to train outside the battle. In the battle isn't the time where you sharpen your sword and look up battle techniques. In battle is when you're whipping out your very sharp sword and doing everything that you've practiced. And the same with us, this whole journey with I'm So Many Things of intentionally planting seeds of truth in your heart is so that when you're in the battle, those truths and those declarations about who God is and who we are have so become part of your fibre that they will trip off the tongue and you can very easily fight with them in that moment of need. So, for example, for me, in that labour time, Dom and I have been praying in the lead up to it. We've been declaring God's truth over the labour, over the birth, over my body, all of those things. And so it was, but then during labour, when I was in the battle, so to speak, wasn't the time for me to be really speculating and thinking. That was when it was that knife edge choice of what thought I was going to follow in that moment. And that was where just hooking on to Dom's declarations of "you're nearly there, you're nearly there, you're nearly there" was key. We want to be armed in the middle of the battle with those statements of faith that will allow us in our weakness to just hook onto them and say, yes, that's the truth. Even though I'm being tossed around right now, even though I can't think clearly, what's the statement of faith? What's the truth? Yes, I choose to believe it. Shut off all the other lies and swirl that's going on and carry on, carry on, carry on. Choose to believe. So I hope that makes sense and encourages you to see this journey of being transformed by the renewing of your mind as a sharpening for battle, as a training, and the daily declarations, the daily sowing of God's truth. See it all as exercise and training, that when you're in the battle, when you're facing the trials, you are fully equipped. You have got a sharp, sharp sword ready to fight. You've got the belt of truth firmly wrapped around your waist, a good, thick, strong belt. You've got the helmet of salvation guarding your thought life, and you're really ready to go. You're on the front foot rather than finding yourself in the battle and not knowing what to hold on to. We want to be rooted and established in God's word day in, day out, so that when the onslaught comes, we know where we stand. Bless you. Over and out from us here.